Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's episode, this is the Halloween special that I will be doing, and I'm going to be taking this Gundam, old toy guy right here, and going to be turning him into the Headless Horseman. Well, kind of my own version of him anyway, but it'll look really cool. Let's get into it. So first of all, this jetpack didn't really suit what I was thinking of for the Headless Horseman, so I took it off, and as well as these arm cannons. Now that the arm cannons are off, he's looking really nice. First of all, I'm just going to be ripping his legs and arms off, and head, because the first part I'm going to be working on is his torso. Now I clipped off the little ball joint for the head, and I'm gluing on a little bead for the base of the neck. Once I had that, here's a little wooden bead that I'm going to be sculpting around with some milliput, and this is going to be his pumpkin head. Milliput is a two-part epoxy putty that once you mix them together, they turn into kind of a clay substance, and then after a while it dries and gets rock solid. You can carve it, shave it, sand it. It's really useful. As you can see here, I'm just kind of layering it around because I didn't want to use up too much of the milliput, so I put that bead in the middle. And I'm just going to kind of roll it around to get as circular as possible. Now here are some sculpting tools that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using a ball stylus and kind of this little shaver thing, and I'm going to kind of just form in these little creases that you would see in a normal pumpkin. Kind of trying to space them out evenly and going down very carefully because this milliput does move and gets kind of formed really easily. Once that was done, I kind of shaped them out some more with a ball stylus, and then I'm going to add this little piece of the milliput as well, and this is going to be kind of the stem. While that's drying, I'm going to take the leftover milliput and kind of form around his neck. And I wanted this to kind of look like an old root system where he kind of ripped the pumpkin out, where the pumpkin was kind of growing out of his head. Once that was done, here it is, all nice, dried, and rock solid, and easy to carve. And here's the body, and that's kind of what I did. I had some roots and kind of this little I don't know what you call that, stem looking thing. And then I assembled them all back together, and then I'm going to be kind of adding a cape and yeah, some stuff around him. It's gonna look cool. Here I'm just kind of cutting an old piece of a shirt into the shape I want it, and this is going to be a cape. Just going to be gluing this onto the shoulders right here. It looks really cool, and I'm just going to make sure it's glued on nice, and it kind of covers the roots, so it almost gives it a little more seclusion and makes it look better. After that, here I'm gluing over another piece of the shirt, just kind of over his shoulder for kind of like another small cape. Just add some more detail, and it looks really cool. Once I had that done, this hand will not work for holding the pumpkin because when I looked up the Headless Horseman, almost every single photo he's holding his head, so I thought that's what I'll be doing. This hand is way too small, so we're gonna have to find a new one. I was looking through some of my bits and boxes, and I found this old claw hand from an old model, and it looks like it worked perfectly. The pumpkin fits in it really nice, and it fits really nicely on his arm. Yeah, this hand is going to work perfect. And it looks really cool. Once I had that done, here I'm going to just kind of carve a little face into it, because we can't just have a blank pumpkin. So I'll be taking a knife and just kind of carving some eyes and a little mouth into this. Then here I took my scalpel and just kind of started carving in some 2 little triangle eyes. Just kind of your classic jack-o'-lantern. Once I had those done, here they are. And I'm also beginning to carve a little mouth, kind of with some little spiky teeth and maybe a little nose later on. Here I'm taking a little bigger knife, because this is just a lot sharper and works a little better for this. And then I'm just kind of carving out a little mouth. Here it is, the mouth kind of finished. I'm just working on some of the edges, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. Here is the hand, and I kind of need a little spot where I can connect the hand to the arm. So I'm just going to be taking this little kind of old piece from an old plane model. I'm just going to be gluing this here, and the hand fits nicely into it. After gluing that on here, I'm gluing the hand into the arm. Yeah. This already looks really cool, and it'll look a lot cooler once we're finished. There it is, all glued together, and yeah. Here's the pumpkin in it, and I did carve a little nose, as you can see, and yeah. Here's a base, because I thought he would look a lot cooler with one, so I'm going to be gluing him onto this base right here, and yeah. Kind of the perfect size, and I thought it would look really cool. Here he is all glued together. I put kind of a rock there to make him in this kind of cool pose where he's standing up and holding the pumpkin up towards the sky, and I thought it looked really cool. Here is some kind of sand terrain paste that I got from Vallejo. I'm going to be using this just to kind of add some gritty texture to the base, as well as some kind of grit to the model. And then here I'm adding some of it to the cape just to kind of stiffen it up and give it kind of a little more ragged, dirty look. Once I had that finished, here it is. Looking pretty cool. And here's the pumpkin. All of it's dried now, and we're about to get ready to paint. I'm going to be kind of painting the cape, the floor, and then his hand, and then just kind of adding some dirty old texture to the model himself, because I do not want to repaint this whole guy. Here's the pumpkin. I just added a few layers of orange, some War Games War Painter, and yeah, this stuff works really nicely and gives it kind of a really nice, vibrant orange color. And here I'm using an airbrush with some darker black. This is just going to be a base coat for the red cape I'm going to do later on. The airbrush was a lot easier than using a normal brush, and yeah. Once I had that done, here I'm taking the red, like I said earlier, and I'm going to be just kind of slowly layering this onto the capes. Right, and here I'm going to take some silver, kind of gray metallic paint, and this is what I'm going to use for his hand. I'm going to be putting on a few layers until it's a nice consistency, and just, yeah. Then when it's finished, it's going to look really nice. And the hand took about 2 to 3 layers to get it really nice coverage. Now here is some AK streaking gun, And this stuff is really nice for weathering, and I'm going to be using this over the whole model. And what you do is you apply a really thick coat and then quickly rub all the excess off with a Q-tip or a paper towel. Once I had that done, here I'm taking just some normal brown Vallejo, and I'm going to be kind of watering this down quite a bit, and this is going to be what I'm using for the base. Once that was done, I also painted the rock gray, as you can see, and I'm going to take a dry brush of a lot lighter color and just kind of go over the whole base and model to just kind of make it look dusty and more realistic. Once that was finished, here I'm going to just add some of these like old dried dead vines, and this is going to make the base look really cool. I also added some flocking, and here I'm putting down some watered down PVA glue, and this just kind of keeps everything in place. After the flocking and all that was done, I finished painting the pumpkin and the rest of the model, and then I'm going to glue the pumpkin into his hand right here. Once that was finished, I'm just adding one more green wash, and I also added a little bit more of the foliage and dead vines onto the top of him, just to kind of make him look more old and more weathered. And after that, he's finished. I hope you guys like this video. This was a super fun project. I love sharing my gifts and talents with you guys, so if you enjoyed, please subscribe, leave a like, and comment. I love hearing from you guys and your ideas, and yeah. See y'all next time.